Number station, 29th of December, 2019. It's about 3:34 in the afternoon. Looks like I'm on about, let me see, that would be this station right here. So I'm on about 11.7, around 11.7 megacycles. Well, she just keeps at it like this, on and off, on and off. I'll tell you what, these are recorded. And then, they're just saying things over and over. They're recorded. This woman's voice has been the same as long as I've been able to pick up number stations. Never any difference in the voice. It's a recorded thing. They just keep playing it over and over. I have a problem with my Transoceanic H500 radio that I restored, well, many moons ago. It got caught in a flood, and I just got done cleaning it and, screwing around with it, making sure it's all spotless. It had a lot of mud on the chassis, and fortunately not that much got up underneath the chassis, but there was quite a bit on top. I cleaned the tubes out and the tube pins and the sockets, and tested the filaments on every tube, and it's good. I cleaned up the tuner, which was having a little trouble moving. It wasn't that way before the flood hit. I'm just finally getting around to catching up with a lot of this flood stuff. I've had so many things going on, my mind just flits around from one to the other. I get to them eventually, though. And, this thing played perfectly before the flood. And then I plugged it up after I cleaned it all real good, turned it on, and it was stone dead. Now this is really interesting. We're really getting some fantastic propagation here today. It's 10 minutes to 4 in the afternoon. And I'm in Conway, Arkansas, and I'm picking up Nashville, Tennessee. Hundreds of miles away. Listen to that. This is WSM, 6:50 a.m. I don't think that's ever happened before. I'm just having a great time today out here with my old Hammerlin. Boy, this is fantastic. Lots of reception. Now this is fairly close. This town's only about 25 miles away. Maybe a little less. What we have here is a radio room. Let's find out what's on the other side of the door. Oh, it's good old Tom in here.
John.
What's up?
I'm doing good.
Put it there, buddy.
How are you?
I'm going to say Happy New Year to you ahead of time.
Same to you.
Look what we have here. Holy moly.
This is my radio room.
It certainly is. This is your radio room and your repair bench shop, right?
This is the nerve center, yeah.
Yeah, it makes my place look kind of puny in comparison.
I don't think so.
I do.
You got about 4,500 more square feet than I do.
You got about, I got 8 by 16, and that's all I got. You about got the same. Look at all the radios and crap here.
And all this has come since I've met you.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you get this Hammerlin HQ200?
This guy I know had an extra one laying around.
Yeah.
And thought I needed it, so.
I knew a guy that had one of those. His name was, I'm a junk collector.
Here, you want to hear it?
Crosses your mind, not every passing fancy.
Now this is AM. So I don't know how much.
Pretty nice. You listen to this one quite a bit, huh?
Yes, I do.
Well,
especially at night.
I'll tell you what, I'm a junk collector. Are you listening? This is your old radio, and this is what happened to it. I bought it, restored it. It hung around, and I finally got that HQ100 that had the little clock in it at the Dayton Ham Fest the last time I went up. And this thing was just sitting there doing nothing. When I met Tom, I kind of felt sorry for the little feller. And I said, I'm going to give you this radio to put in your house where you can... I didn't realize you had to jam it in among all the other radios he's got here.
This was here, but none of this other was here. I put all these shelves up since I got that.
Now this one plays pretty good all the time.
Yes, it does. This is just
it.
AM, and then we can probably try to get some short wave here.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. That looks really nice there. It looks like you got a light bulb burned out, boy.
Yeah.
What's your hold up on that? You get that taken care of. Tom was telling me about some noise he was getting on this. Go ahead and show me the noise.
Okay, I got it sitting in this metal.
Just show me the noise. All right, now go ahead and hook it back up. Now, what's causing it to be so nice and quiet?
Well, you didn't tell me you were going to ask me a question. I didn't know there was a quiz.
No. I mean, what did you do to make it so quiet?
I grounded out the signal. It's I guess it would be the outer skin of the coax.
Did this pan underneath it have anything to do with it?
Yes, this helps ground the whole radio.
For those of you who remember, I had I bought a set of 3 cookie sheets for one of them radio that I'm still working on, actually. And I had this one left over, and Tom was telling me he was having a lot of static and a lot of noise. And so I gave him the cookie sheet that would fit, and he set the radio in there, and it helped quiet it down a whole lot, didn't it?
Well, see, this is what I was doing before.
Yeah, he was using aluminum foil.
Which, of course, tears all the time.
Yeah, well, get you a big old cookie sheet, people. You can buy them at Walmart. There's 3 in a pack. They're real cheap.
And then
and they help a lot. Now,
I have a...
what have you got grounded to it?
This is just the signal from the radio.
Let me see what you're talking about. I want to make sure I show these folks. Now, the signal from the radio, what does that mean? I don't know what that...
This is the actual signal.
Uh-huh.
You know, you got an A and a G on your radio.
Well, no kidding.
And
jeez, I didn't know that.
This is the G and that's the A.
Okay, so I see.
That's just from the antenna.
Okay, this is the antenna ground, and you connected it to this little pan right here, and that helped a whole lot, right?
Yes, it did.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you what. Before we get into Tom showing us, a few of the things he has here, let's do a little round robin. This is a workbench he has over here.
That's for taking
and
stuff
these are
apart.
parts, bins, and use this one to take stuff apart, huh?
Yeah, and then
all right.
It goes back together on this bench.
And over here is his workbench where where he actually puts things together. And up here he's got a TV screen.
That's a computer monitor, actually.
This is computer monitor. Then he's got a giant TV screen,
which allows me to watch.
And then another
John's videos on the big screen, which is what that is right now.
You poor guy. He's watching one of my old Philco.
That's your
630B.
hand,
Yeah, that's my hand in the video. 630B. Then what do you use this one for?
That's just more stuff. I keep the weather on that sometimes, but that's how I select my YouTubes, and then because it's easier to select with the mouse than having to type it on the TV.
And then you just transfer them over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do my search, and then I just
play
now,
this here is here's a DC regulated power supply by MFJ.
Right, that's the...
And then you bought that, plus this radio here, which is a what?
That's a FT890 Yazoo.
And that works pretty good, doesn't it?
It does everything I need to do.
He bought them as a set at, where'd you get them at?
It was from an estate sale, but I picked it up at the Hoxie Hamfest.
Right here in Arkansas.
That's right.
Yeah, he bought them together in a set. You did a good deal on that. Then, of course, he's got the Versatuner. And what is this thing here?
Well, that's another tuner.
That's just the power meter is what that is, right?
No, this is another tuner that I use for SWR.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I check the SWR.
All right, that's fine.
This is how I tune the different meters.
And then
this is for FT8, which I don't use very much because I'm...
there are people out there that have no idea what you're talking about. What is an FT8? What is that?
Digital part of ham radio.
Okay. See,
I don't do much of it.
These videos are for people that don't know these things, not for people who do. People that already know them have probably already left the video and gone on to something else.
This allows digital operation of this radio through the computer.
Okay, well that makes perfect sense to me. Why am I teaching you electronics when you got all this crap? You got more junk in this one little spot that I got in my entire shop.
Well, I can operate it. I can't fix it.
Oh, okay. So you're an appliance operator.
There you go.
Okay. Now, tell me about this night radio
that one
up
I
here.
got from a fella in our ham club, and he had a friend that built this, and it doesn't work properly.
So it was a kit.
It was a kit. Actually, it does work, but it needs an alignment, and it needs... I need to replace a couple resistors and capacitors.
So it doesn't work.
Not
if
well.
you have to replace resistors and capacitors, it does not work.
It works.
Okay.
It worked.
Okay.
It's in need of some TLC.
Well, let me ask you this: are you confident enough from what you've already learned to just dig into that and make all that operation happen?
I am now. Yes.
Good. I'm real proud of you. I can't tell you how proud I am. Everybody out there has been watching you. I even took a lot of grief over you here the other day.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. I'm used to grief. I dealt with it, all right? Anyway, what do we got up here?
That it was out of my father's wood shop. He had a wood shop for all his life, and that radio for most of it, and it's an AM and FM, and the FM has stopped. Actually, both stopped. And I brought it over to your place, and we determined it needed a rectifier tube initially.
And we got it going.
Need power up.
We got it going, didn't we?
We got it going, and the AM still works, but the FM is...
The FM crapped out, huh?
I put a new tube in it, and I think I may have damaged it because I didn't change the caps and the resistors
Well,
first.
that may not cause the problem. I brought my tube tester over
But
today. We're going to check the tube, okay?
It works real good. I don't think I'll have to align it even. It picks up a lot of stuff.
That's good. And down here you have your realistic DX160.
And I got this for $5 at the Russellville Ham Fest.
That's a fantastic deal. Yeah.
That's one of the best ham fests in the state, by the way.
Well,
This guy that sold it to me said he didn't think it would. He said it turns on, but I don't think it works.
Yeah, right. But what did we do? Did we play some magic with that one too?
And we worked on it, aligned it.
Yeah.
So it would pick up more stations.
And now all of a sudden it's working.
This is short wave right here.
Yeah. A radio that couldn't be fixed is now fixed for $5. Not a bad deal, huh? That's the way it's done.
It's 5 bands. It does.
Yeah. Guys,
Right
I hope
there.
some of you guys out there are listening. Hamfest is where you find your best deals.
Yeah.
Best deals. All right. Over
So
here
anyway,
is a Techniques turntable.
This is
Down
my
here is
receiving area.
This is
and
where
then,
you got plenty of handhelds. Now you, or handy talkies
Yeah,
as they
one's
call them.
the one on the right's a DMR, and the one on the left is an analog. They're both Baofeng, which everybody makes fun of, but it allows me to get on the local repeaters. This is how I get 145 megahertz and the 420 some megahertz. It's the FM radio.
To those who are non-ham, this is all gibberish, starting with DMR. What is DMR?
That's digital mobile radio.
There you go. DMR, you'll hear that a lot.
As opposed to this thing.
As opposed to this thing right here, which is a base station.
It's an analog rig.
Analog rig base station, yeah.
So it only uses,
Yep.
it has a series of circuits that transmit the radio frequency,
That's right.
whereas that uses computer chips and it puts out
All
a
that
digital signal.
high-powered crap, yeah. Last time I went to the Dayton Hamfest, a lot of people were buying those DMR radios. It's the coming thing, and all that. I didn't bother with it. So anyway, what's this radio over here now? We have another radio. Boy, you're just covered with radios here.
Which one? One
Pick
underneath
the one
the
on
turntable?
no.
By the way, that's my original turntable from high school.
Really?
And after going to radio school with Dr. John here,
Dr. John, yeah.
he convinced me that I could pick it up out at the farm and bring it to my radio room and get it working again.
And what happened?
I went through it and cleaned everything and adjusted the motor and put a new belt on it, and it works perfectly.
What are we talking about? Your turntable?
The Pioneer Techniques.
The turntable.
Turntable.
Yeah. It's not a Pioneer, it's a Techniques.
Well, it's made by Pioneer.
Is it?
Or no, it's Panasonic. I apologize.
Yeah.
See, I should never.
Yeah.
I should never.
That's okay.
Question.
We don't worry about stuff.
Yeah, it's Panasonic. Sorry.
We worry about nothing.
But at the time I bought it, that was a high dollar turntable.
Well, tell me about this radio on the top.
Now, the one on the top, that was out of my dad's garage, and it needs some capping and resistors, but it didn't work at all. It had been rained on and it was full of mud daubers.
I thought we got that one working too, didn't we?
Yeah, it works now.
Yeah, it works now.
But it's
but it just needs a little sprucing up, right?
Yeah, I got to put some caps in.
Your dad was a radio entrepreneur kind of guy, wasn't he?
Well, he listened to the radio all the time.
Well,
if he didn't have a ball game on, he was listening to
well, good for him. I'm
conservative
proud of him.
radio, I'll say.
Conservative radio. I like him already.
He was a Rush Limbaugh.
Now, Tom, is this your dad? No, this is your brother.
That's my brother.
He recently passed away, didn't
he? Yes, he had cancer.
Yeah.
He just died about a couple months ago.
Yeah, I know. He went all the way to, where was it, Maryland?
Yes, Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, he went all the way up there.
I'm so glad I did.
And saw his brother just before he passed away.
My other relatives didn't get the chance to go, and now they wish they had.
Oh yeah.
He's gone.
That's exactly right.
So I'm glad I got to see him.
Yeah, so God looked down on his planned paradise and said, "I need a caretaker," so God made a farmer. Tom, you're a farmer, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, you own a lot of land out there in Kansas. You farmed all sorts of things when you were younger.
I own land in Kansas, but it's not a lot. Especially out there, it takes thousands of acres to farm, and I don't even have 1,000 acres. So.
Well, that's still that's about 1,000 more than I have. Okay?
If it was here in Arkansas, it would be worth a whole lot more because
this looks like an oscope here.
You guys get more rain.
Is that an oscilloscope?
Yeah, I got this off the internet.
Is it functional?
Yes, it is. That's the one you helped me work.
I helped you work on that too.
Yeah, we straightened the tube. Remember, the bolts were off of it. We took it apart.
Yeah, that's right.
I got lucky.
We've done so many repairs on so many of your radios. Yeah,
it came with all kinds of probes.
Is that like a 5 megahertz or something like that?
I don't even think it goes that high.
I think it goes up to 5 megahertz, if I'm not mistaken.
But it's good for signal, so I'm going to start using it here when I get to aligning more radios.
All right.
These are my tools, which I emulated my professor at radio school.
And right.
Although this is what you need to get. This was out at the farm. It's a one pull wire stripper.
That looks like something you take horseshoes off a horse with.
You stick it in there and it strips it.
I've seen those. I like the feel. This is the kind I like right here. I finally talked you into. I know. I talked you into grabbing one of these. Mm-hmm. This is the best. I don't know how accurate these are. I have a Craftsman, but I'm not sure how accurate this one will be. So be careful.
That's
with it,
okay?
All right. I think that's a good round robin tour, and I'm happy for you. Tom lives in a subdivision, as you can see.
What about this?
We got to look at your Variag.
And there's my isolation transformer. That's the latest in the shop.
I've been telling them, do not be fixing any radios without this baby. This is a one plug deal, right? But that's fine. Yeah. It'll work great. Now let me step outside for a minute. Now here's something odd that you probably have never seen before. This is a tree that is growing upside down with the branches going into the ground as opposed to coming up. So this is the bottom of the tree. Normally, this is the top of the tree. Now this is the antenna that the ham club, our ham club, I'm not active in it anymore. Tom is. They came out and helped them sink 5 feet down into the ground. They poured the whole pile of concrete and rebar, and they put this antenna support up. It's got I think two sections right now, and he's got a Windham antenna connected to it. Let's see if you can see it in the line. It's kind of hard for me to see. There it is right there. It's just suspended from up there. That thing at the top is a TV antenna, but his Windham comes across. It's a dipole, and he's got it hooked to this pole right here, and the other half is hooked to this pole over here, and that's what he uses for his ham radio. Now later on, they're going to separate the sections. We're going to separate it right around here. I think let me see, where's that section end? It ends right there, right in that area there. They're going to separate it, and they're going to put that other piece laying on the ground in there. Well, we appreciate the tour. Hopefully I didn't bore a whole lot of people. That tree out there that's growing upside down in your yard, I'd like to know how you accomplished that. That's kind of an interesting deal there.
Well, that's a sore subject. That's the first tree I've ever planted that died, and it was the first tree I bought for $200.
Maybe because you planted it upside down. You ever think of that?
No, it was a nursery in town here, which I won't name names, but it died about 2 weeks after I got it. My kids were over here playing volleyball, and they flipped it upside down to use it to hold the net up.
Oh, okay. Okay, I brought over my tube tester. We're going to set it up, test a couple tubes, and then I'm going to get on out of here as soon as we do all that. This has been a lot of fun.
Okay.
Get this thing to work.
Delta 743 with you at Toledo.
We have a pair of white speakers down here, powered speakers, that I haven't shown you yet, and they're connected to this little box right here. What is this little box right here?
This is my aircraft radio receiver.
Aircraft, so you're listening to the transmissions at the local airport around here.
Yeah, aircraft frequencies.
Do you know who is also really into that sort of thing?
No. Who?
Really likes the the aircraft and all that stuff, and probably listens to the frequencies and the transmissions and everything.
Not Carl, is it?
Sky Carl, does that ring a bell with you?
Sky Carl, really?
Where do you think the name Sky Carl came from? He's really big into airplanes.
He's got to be related somehow.
He is. You guys are related. There's no doubt about it. Okay, now what do you got for an antenna?
Well, this was the original antenna, which
totally sucks.
Inadequate. So I made one, which is above your head there.
Oh, how about this?
It works better outside, but that's what's called a quarter wave ground plane antenna, and it's cut. All the legs in the top are cut to a specific length to receive aircraft frequencies, which are 108 to 134 kilohertz.
No kidding, in the kilohertz range.
I believe so.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I hope I'm not lying, but anyway, that's the frequency that the airplanes use with traffic control.
Well, how about that? How often do you listen to that?
I have it on a lot of times.
Now, can you pick this up any distances further away than where we're at right now in Conway?
I can pick up the Conway Airport, which is about 19 miles from here.
Anything further than that?
And I get Memphis Center, but I get all kinds of airplanes which are at 30,
if they're flying over, feet. You get them at 30, 40,000 feet.
So that's
well, that would be interesting.
How many miles is that? 40,000 divided by
5,280, whatever that comes out to be.
What is that? That's 8 miles up. So
well, that's pretty slick there.
But I get a lot of the FedEx boys that are going to Memphis. You know, I hear them and.
You're talking about the FedEx aircraft?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I thought we'd hear something, but...
That's kind of neat. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to make sure I got this in before I shut the video off.
But they,
I got lucky the other day. I have been looking for a smaller walk. My walk is huge, and you know, it's just down to wifey and me now. And so I searched around. I was looking for like a 12-inch walk. Something a little easier to handle. We don't have to cook as much food in it. And I walked into a Kroger store we have in town here. It's like a huge Safeway. It's the biggest Kroger store I ever saw. Matter of fact, I think it's bigger than Walmart's store. And they got huge delicatessen, much bigger than Walmart has. All the way around, they just have clothes, and I've never seen a Kroger store with that much crap in it. Anyway, I just walked down one of the aisles, and I couldn't believe it. There, hanging on the wall, was a carbon steel 12-inch walk. Exactly what I wanted. It's just a slightly larger than 12. I think it's like 12.2 or 3 or so. Anyway, right now I am seasoning it. I've washed it real good, top and bottom, and gave it a good scrubbing to get that, you know, that preservative or that coating off of there that they keep it from rusting. And then coated it with cooking oil. And now I'm heating it on my little stove here. And I'm turning it all black. And when it gets all done, I'll shut the stove off, let it cool down. I'll give it another good scrubbing. And then I'll put another coating of cooking oil on it. And I'll do this about 4, maybe 5 times. I want this thing fully seasoned. I'd like to make some fried rice for wifey and me this weekend. I just gave it a second washing, and now I'm coating it one more time with some oil. I just throw some oil on this paper towel here. Put a little squirt on there, not much. I'm going to put a nice light coating of oil all around it, on the front and the back, on the bottom and top rather. And then we'll heat it again. Now, the purpose of seasoning either a grill top or a wok or anything like this, for those of you who don't know, nowadays just about everybody knows, but you know, there are young folks who've never done it. I had never done it until I bought a wok. Anyway, the purpose of seasoning is to get it all the preservative, the anti-rust coating off of it that comes with it to keep it from rusting until it's purchased. Get that off of there. You don't want that in your food. And secondly, it makes it non-stick, almost like a Teflon coating. And also, it helps it to keep it from rusting further after you've used it. You know, when you're all done and you clean it, you put a coating of oil on it, top and bottom, and you store it up in your closet or whatever. But I'm doing this outside because you can see already the smoke coming off that oil would be all over the house if I didn't. So do it outside. But she's coming along pretty good now. This is the 3rd time I'm doing it, and I really loaded up on the oil. And we're just going to really let it get hot this time. Now, as time goes by and you cook in it, you know, do your vegetables or whatever, rice or whatever, it'll begin to take on a more even color black. Right now, you're looking at really burnt oil. And you could scrub it on down if you want, but then you'd have to start all over again with the oil. Just let it take whatever color it wants to get. It'll turn a kind of a blackish brown, and sometimes they turn a little bluish and brown. Depends on, you know, I guess the brand that you get. But carbon steel's the way to go, and that's what this is. She's beginning to get to the color that I like. I like my wok and my grill tops to be kind of a real dark brown, almost to the point of being black. And then what I'll do is once this thing gets to the exact way I want it, then I'll go ahead and let it cool down. I'll give it a good rinse. I'll let it cool down to give it a good rinse in the sink with cold water. Wipe it dry with a cloth, and we should be just, you know, maybe put a light film of oil on it front and back to make sure there's no rust until I get ready to use it. Hopefully this weekend. Well, that's it. I just gave it a final wash with no soap, just plain water and a rag, and dried it all down real good, and lightly coated it with more oil to, you know, keep it stored rust-free until we get to use it this weekend. That looks really nice. Now, as time goes by, like I said, it'll get better and better and better. Well, we'll have to wrap this video up here. We're back to the old Transoceanic. I found a burned resistor, of course. Look at there. There it is right there. Man, that baby's in pretty rough shape. Let me get it over here. Don't ask me how that happened. I mean, this radio was playing perfectly when I put it, you know, stuck it out here in the garage before the water got it. Anyway, everything is fine on it. All the screen grid voltage. This is the kind of radio everybody needs, really. One like this that's a real brain teaser. You change out the obvious. You expect success. Nothing happens. So I tested all the tubes. They're good. All the voltages on the screen grids and the plates are good. Everything is fine on this radio. Now we need to check out the oscillator. And I'm on the broadcast band right now. Watch what happens here. See, I'm letting this radio affect the other, so the oscillator's working good. I'm just not getting any reception. So, I don't know. Usually when you have something like this, you've got a coil problem somewhere. I mean, all the resistors are good, the capacitors are good, tubes are good, voltages are good, but it still doesn't play. And generally that boils down to maybe I don't know, a hidden resistor somewhere or a coil that's open. So we'll work on this and pick it up in the next video. So until then, until next time, this is John.